Welcome to the Brett Rivero Show. It is my mission to help you gain an unshakable mindset so you can create healthier families, stronger communities, and a better world. This show is not just a show for you to listen to. It is a way for you to actually grow into the person you want to be. As you listen in, you will hear tools, tactics, and real stories that will help you understand your current mindset and how it is shaping your reality. Pay attention to what aligns with you. Also, pay attention to what strikes the nerves inside of you and those things you shy away from. Make this actionable, because as you ask yourself those tough questions on what affected you in the way that it did, you're able to truly understand your mindset and how you're creating your reality. Remember, you always have the power to be unshakable. Believe you can, realize you will, and change into the person you were meant to be. Let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you so much for joining me.
How you've seen it in your practice where individuals who really do want change, and that's what, that's something I think about often, is people do want change, and they actually believe wholeheartedly that that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there's a large transition between wanting the change and actually doing some of the harder internal work that creates it. So, we were talking about before, but I'd love you to explore that some, and how in your practice, as a naturopathic doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe just a quick background of how you've seen that.
Yeah. Mindset is the biggest factor that drives success in my field. Not as doctors, yes, I'm sure it does, but in working with patients. Because when people come in with a health issue, they're uncomfortable. It's at you, it's immediate, right? And you can't get away from it. And people want solutions, and they want them quickly. Now, in a traditional medical model, the solutions do come quickly in the form of a pill, right? I think everybody would agree that those solutions create positive change, but don't solve the issue. So by default, the people that are coming into my practice as patients are looking for a way to actually get their body to heal. And in order to do that, they're going to have to make some fundamental change, because the cornerstone of health is going to be your nutrition, your movement, your lifestyle habits. That is the cornerstone of everything. So now I'm messing with people's diets. And if you think people have funny relationships with their spouses or money or family or families of origin, wait until you start talking to them about what they like to eat, what drives their eating patterns, what drives their cravings, what drives what they want to do with food. I have had people be more upset with giving up a food item than ending a friendship or a relationship. And so that starts now driving into these very, very personal parts of people's life. And there becomes very quickly this very tangible, and from my perspective, visible disconnect between what the person is saying. They're telling me what they want their goal to be. Yes, Dr. Passero, I want to be healthy. Yes, I'm ready to make the changes with my food. Okay, here's what you have to do. And then 3 weeks later, when we follow up, how are you doing? Well, not so great. Have you made the changes that we identified that you were going to need to make? No. Okay, how come? I'm just really struggling with it. I was on vacation, or my family member, or I was having a rough week, or I've been so stressed out. And they know that if they make those changes, they'll achieve the goal that they want. And so there becomes this disconnect between their behaviors that they're needed to do to achieve that goal and what their stated goal is. So they just don't get there. And what we've learned in the clinic, working with my nutritionist, who's like amazing at mindset work, she's done some life coach training and like really gets it, is that until somebody makes that mindset shift and does the work, when they do that, the goal just happens. So it's, and after 20 years of doing this, it becomes hard and somewhat frustrating as the clinician to see the path. I know the health of that person is sometimes in tears, you know, about wanting so badly. It's there. I know the human body, and I know that it will heal, and I know that it would happen, and I want it so badly for them, because that's why I got into this business. But they can't make it happen for themselves. And it creates so much internal suffering and disappointment and shame and strife. And it's just a sad story to watch play out.
I wonder, where do you think of our attachment to food comes from? It's such an intriguing aspect.
Well, there's so many layers to that, for sure. I mean, family of origin, you know, what you grew up with, what you got programmed into you. And I'm sure in the work that you do, so much of our mindset gets programmed into us by that. We've done lectures literally just on mindset. We have like a 2-part series that's like 2 hours just on mindset. And the food issue is driven by so much. We have, you know, culture is huge, because we are fed a story about food that is 100% false for the average American.
Yeah, I agree. I had an interesting belief pop into my mind for a while that I played with. Is like, okay, yes, I understand that we are constantly to be driven by taste. What if we're solely driven by nutrition? Like, what if the only reason that we're supposed to consume food is simply for the health of this vessel? And I got so much backlash.
Yeah.
Like, not only in my family, but like from clients and other people. And they're like, no, that can't be all.
I sort of agree with them. I think that there's a balance. I think that there are many things about the way our human body is designed that make life beautiful. You know, the way we see, the way we smell, the way touch feels, like all of those things that just make life worth living, you know? And I believe that those buttons should get pressed, because that's what makes life beautiful. But it's gotten completely adulterated. And that's the problem. It's a sort of bastardized manipulation of that beauty that's forced us into it. And you see it in every aspect of modern culture in a lot of ways. Hookup culture doesn't foster security and deep relationships for women or men, is what the research really shows. We're encouraged to get a lot of cheap thrills, gambling, you know, food, any kind of like pleasure trap that can push dopamine levels in a human has been exploited in modern culture to say, hey, this is normal, get it easy, and move on to the next thing. And hey, you deserve it, just do it. And food is the same way. And the reason why I believe it's so addictive is because there aren't too many other things that trigger dopamine and the neurochemistry of our brain from addiction more than food. Like the classic example I give patients all the time is that they've done the studies with rats. And if you get a rat addicted to sugar and cocaine, which is one of the more highly addictive narcotics that we know of, and you give them an option, they will preferentially choose the sugar over the cocaine. So sugar is actually more addictive to the brain than hardcore narcotics
Mhm.
that we all shame and frown upon, which they're not good for you. I do too, like cocaine.
Right.
So the amount of manipulation, and it's not just sugar. High fat does it.
Mm.
High sugar does it. These foods that we're encouraged to eat, that if you sit down and you watch a Sunday football game and you watch what comes up on the commercials, a lot of it is food commercials. And what are people eating? Sugar, ice cream, fatty foods, pizzas, burgers, wings dripping in fatty sauce. And it's like, it's that drive. And it's so wired
Mm.
in us.
That's what I found. It's so important for an aspect of mindset is self-awareness. I think the more that we can drive a deep sense of self-awareness, the more we can start to see these things, whether they're for us or against us.
Yep.
But it's at first sometimes a hard jump to make for
Yep.
individuals, because these patterns are so deep that I've had a multitude of clients say, "This is who I am."
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, I mean, you know this better than I
Yeah.
do. I think isn't every 7 years or something we have a completely new cellular makeup or something.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, the data behind "This is who I am" is unreal.
Yeah.
They've found that we can rewire our brain
Yep.
continuous throughout aging.
Yep.
And so culturally, I feel we get stuck on "This is who I am" when it's
Yeah.
a completely incorrect stigma.
Yeah. I would agree with that. We start with that lecture started with like education and awareness is the first step
Mhm.
in mindset shift.
Mhm.
And from our perspective around health, it's about looking at that construct of society. It's politics and big business.
Mhm.
It's advertising and marketing. It's the food industry. It's cultural norms, because you have to you have to fight against kind of all of those. And in normal day life, you're just sort of like a rat being led down a maze,
Mhm.
and you're sort of comfortable and you're sort of just getting led down. But if you take a step back and you look at the motivations behind why you're getting led down that maze, you're basically a product.
Mhm.
Not the food, not the things they're selling. We are the product as the consumer. And once you realize how much you're being manipulated to make the choices that keep you sick and that keep you feeding into that system, it's sort of like, oh, I don't want to be part of that.
Mhm.
It's like getting perspective on a relationship or getting perspective on something where you're like, I don't want to be part of that.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden the mindset, the way you viewed one thing, all of a sudden changes. And we didn't just invent that. We understood that by working with our patients for so many patients over 20 years,
Mm.
is that that's what would happen. I can't change. I could never give up this food, but my family says it has to be this way. And when I visit my parents, it's this way. And if I go out to eat with my friends, it's that way. And what restaurants have that, and I could never be the person that did this or that or this. And then, but they keep at it. They keep coming back because they're so driven to achieve their goal that they keep coming back to get the support. And then they make a little change.
Mm.
And then they make another little change. And then at some point, when the change is like kind of really locked in and they're getting their goal, they kind of see it. I can't believe I was doing that. I would never want to do that. Why was I doing that? And then they see it. They're like, oh my gosh, look at like all these things that are pushing me towards that.
Mhm. What have you seen are some of the key qualities that individuals have when they shift their mindset?
You mean the key qualities of the people that actually make it to a shifted mindset, that actually like achieve? Is that what you're asking?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's persistence.
Intriguing.
It's the persistence to keep at it, because any single time you go, and we have something my nutritionist designed as part of like how we work on mindset with people as they make changes. We have like a period of evaluation that she calls like failing forward.
Mhm.
Is that like there is no doubt that any single person looking to change their mindset to achieve a goal is going to fail at some point. They're going to have a setback. So how do you take that setback and make it a positive? by evaluating, like, what did I do wrong? Why did I fall back to my old mindset? What were the triggers? What could I do differently? How do we evaluate that to learn from it, so that we can have more awareness next time we go into that situation? And the people that fail and just say, oh, it's just too hard. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to change. And don't go back at it. They never make it there. It's the people with the persistence that say, okay, that was rough. That didn't go like I wanted it to. But you know what? I'm going to try again. They kind of keep getting back up on the horse and keep trying again and keep trying again, because that's what you have to do. You have to keep trying again enough times that you create enough of a string of period of time where you can see the benefits of that change.
Nice. Yeah. Persistence is such a huge quality because, I think directly in line with persistence is consistency.
Yeah. That's another word for it. Yeah.
Right? Small shifts lead to larger changes in the long run. And I think we get so stuck on wanting that immediate change that we negate how the small, persistent consistency allows us to create a larger change through more time. I get so intrigued about how people view time, like in general. I really think we have this like such a negative narrative about time in our mindset.
Yeah.
Like aging, oh my gosh, clients will say, oh my gosh, I'm 50. Okay, that's you still have at least 40 plus years of health span if you choose certain choices. Why is 50 so? Man, I wish I would have figured this out when I was 35. Why does that even matter?
Yeah,
I get so intrigued about how we want things immediately, and yet at the same time of that immediate need, we negate how much time we actually have.
I agree. It prevents us from planning, and like seeing the possibilities of the future, for sure. Yeah.
So in building your business, because, to me, it couldn't have been easy for you to enter into being a naturopath and really bucking the whole system of modern medicine and build something which I know you're extremely passionate about. What are some of the key things in your mindset that really helped you, and what are some of the actual setbacks that helped you continue to move forward?
Well, it's a good question. I think that my answer will probably come with some things that will be inspiring for people and some things that are, just hard, honest truths. I think the part that helped me be somewhat successful really stems from, I don't even know if it's anything that I can take credit for. I was instilled, luckily, as a child with a lot of feelings of self-worth because I was raised in a very supportive, loving home that gave me the stability to be able to comfortably feel that I could explore out and fail and still have security. I believe that there are many people that come from family backgrounds that don't have that still are able to develop a mindset to strive for success and to have that sort of resilience despite that. But I believe that those people probably have a stronger constitution than I do, or maybe do, because I came from a situation where somebody helped will that to me. So from that place of stability and security, I felt very confident going out into the world, feeling as a young man that I could just kind of take the world by storm. And we all have a little bit of that as a young man, right? Whether you come from a good family or not, that's, part of youth, I think, man or female. We all feel like we can kind of conquer the world, and the world is our oyster when we're young. So that drove a lot of it. There just wasn't another option. The only option was success. Not because I was scared of failure. It was because that's how life went. That's the pretty side of it. The dark side of it is that now I'm 50, and naturally as a business owner, especially as a really kind of like entrepreneurial minded, risk-taking business owner, right? Always striving to figure out a better way to do things, a better way to innovate. It's led me to take risks in my business that a lot of even traditional people in starting a practice and starting a doctor's office wouldn't take those risks. And those risks have come with reward, but those risks have come with failure. And it's a lot harder, I have found, as an older man, to be resilient during those failures. And that is where I have the most amount of work to do at this point in my life. Because instead of success feeling like the only option, I think as we get older, sometimes it's a little harder to keep that mindset of the world is my oyster. We lose a little bit of energy, and we lose a little bit of that just go out and get them drive. So that's where, that's the dark side of it. There's the positive side and there's the dark side. And that's just the honest truth of what I'm working through in my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a belief that was instilled in you of I can achieve anything.
Yeah.
And success is the only option. And that's such an intriguing thing to like try to instill in people's mindset.
Yeah.
Even when they don't have that as their background of,
yeah,
okay, yeah, you failed at this job you had went really well. It made you miserable. You're going to try at this business. It's not going very well. That's okay. You can succeed.
Yep.
And you do need to believe in yourself.
Yep.
And like, it's very interesting to try to help people with that. I found that just by showing up and creating space for them to feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
And to consistently being positive. Positivity is such a weird thing to me because like some clients will have something happen, and I'll be like, okay, that really sucks. We have to be honest.
Yep.
And say that is very detrimental. That was very, very difficult. Great. We have acknowledged our feelings. What did we learn?
Yeah.
And that constant balance of those two aspects of acknowledging the negative, but then still through the shittiest times going, okay, what did I learn about myself? What was life trying to teach me? I feel can help those beliefs of I can succeed.
Yeah.
I do believe in myself really, really come through. And you hit a key piece of I haven't, maybe they're out there. And I hope they are. And I hope to meet someone one day. I haven't met anyone that was just like all roses.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I started this business. That was great. And I did this one and that was great. I have found that the difficulties, the real difficulties, give us resilience, make us who we are, and then create success in whatever version of success that we want to call it, whether it's personal, professional, or in a relationship.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that I'm still watching my mind and having that debate constantly with myself of like, is that a real thing, Brett? Like, is that a real thing that struggle is a part of the beautiful journey?
I mean, I don't think there's anything more real than that. I don't think that struggle is part of life, and that word resilience is sort of what I think all successes boil down to. And I think that resilience can come from different areas. As I said, I think that some of my initial resilience came from my family structure. But I think resilience can come from many other places. It can come from relationships with other people besides your family of origin, spouses, friends, support networks. It can come from spiritual growth. It can come from self-work, but I think that resilience is the key for any success, truly. And that I have found resilience gets a little bit beaten out of you as you get older, because you encounter more challenges as you get older. And it's a very active work on a daily basis to maintain the resilience necessary to keep the successes in life, whether it be business, health, relationship, whatever it is.
I love that, because, okay, when we look at resilience, it is a necessary thing. And I think it is a very powerful thing that we have to have as humans, especially if we want to love and trust ourselves and to have success in whichever version of that reality that it is for us. I also have tried to understand there's a switch in my mind that resilience is constantly something that I have and I create, but I don't allow it to go to a negative place where I'm like, life is so bad. You know, it's this beautiful dichotomy of, yes, in every moment, I feel as if I have to be resilient in my life to keep my peace. At the same time, I am constantly looking at how that resilience is a beautiful gift and trying to see the positive of the world.
You are very positive.
I try to
You have a very positive mindset. I think that people can have resilience, positive and negative. Some people are wired, it seems like, to have more positive outlooks. Some people have more negative outlooks. And I think that if you have a more negative outlook in general, your ability to maintain resilience is going to be lower. And I've seen that. I've been like super blessed in the ability to I have sat across the desk from so many people, you know, tens and tens of thousands of people over my years of doing my work. And many of them have been 80, 85 plus or older. And there's like a trend that I noticed pretty early on that like some people are going to be happy through their life and some people are just going to be miserable. Some people are just miserable. And what I learned by talking to people that were older was that whether you're happy or miserable has very little to do with the events that you're faced with in life. Because I would meet people that were very happy, and when they would tell me their stories, they had very, very traumatic and very difficult things that they faced in life. And then you would talk with people that just seemed like miserable people. Just miserable people. And they would tell you their story of their life and nothing really all that miserable happened. And so it became, there's this huge component of like outlook and how you view things. And I've learned personally that it's okay to reflect on the things that suck. And it's okay to mourn and grieve the things in life that don't work out the way that you want them to, the failures that we encounter. But there has to be a certain point when you look at that and you get the mindset that you talked about. Okay, you know, what did I learn from this? What can I do from this? How do I let this go? And where do I see the beauty in life that is still here?
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I find it intriguing that people do get stuck with that negative mindset. And then I've had a few clients where I've helped them rewire their minds so that it shifts. And it's some of it they don't even know that they have. Some of it they just think that's just how life is. And helping people understand that you're not your past. You're not your parents. You're not society. Like you can create a life that is genuinely yours if you focus on what you can control and stop focusing on what you can't. Slowly and consistently helps people go from that negative to that positive.
Definitely. That's a lot of work though.
It is.
You know, because what we know about the brain is that those neuro pathways, those thought pathways get really wired in, and they just become like a giant groove in the road.
Yep.
That everything just hits that groove. So it does take a lot of work to get off that track and onto a different groove, but it is absolutely possible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely possible.
When you think about resilience, what are maybe 3 things that you have seen that have helped people become resilient so that they can make the mindset shifts, so that way they can make the changes that they want with their health?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's hard because we're not doing as much mindset and psychological work with people where I'm really getting in there to understand it. Ask me the question again.
So 20 years, you've seen people make tremendous
Yep.
changes in their health.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the key characteristics that they've had related to resilience?
Mm-hmm. I think that they have like a degree of self-worth, almost. Like this idea that they really, and they never say it this way, it's just an observation, and I could be projecting this, but it's almost like they believe that they should be able to get that, and it's almost like they're forgiving. And the reason why I say self-worth, it's almost like the people, they're like forgiving enough with themselves that they're willing to just kind of keep coming back. And the reason why I say self-worth, this is why, Brett, it's because they keep investing in themselves. Because to come into my clinic and to work with us is an investment. It's an investment of time, and it's an investment of money. It's not a copay of $15. It's an out-of-pocket, investment that they have to make. They have to keep coming back. They have to keep showing up with their shame when they fail, because, and like, it's not that we shame people.
Correct.
But
they shame
any
themselves.
of us, we shame ourselves more than anyone else shames us.
Yep.
So they have to keep coming back with their shame. And like, in order to keep doing that over and over again, I really believe that those people must like believe somewhere deep down that they deserve the change that they want to get, because they'll just keep showing up and they'll keep making their appointments. They'll keep investing in themselves financially. They'll set aside the time to just like get the support and the coaching and the guidance necessary to make the change, because that's what it's about.
They have to believe that they're worth it.
I believe that that is a super deep driver of why the people who have been successful, and why the people who have not been successful have not been successful.
That's a really cool insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want change, you have to believe that you are worthy of said change, or you are worth it. And especially when it comes to like people who work with us, like, we're not in the network.
Yeah.
So you are, out of pocket.
Yeah.
And you are investing a lot of time and energy and money into yourself.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah. They're willing to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again.
And over again.
The driver must be because they believe they're worth it.
And see, that ties directly to a lot of times when I have tremendous shifts with clients after, 6 months or a year, they're always, wow, thank you so much, Brett. And I just immediately reverberate back to them, thank you.
Yeah.
You're the one that did it.
I agree. People are always thanking me, and I'm just like, I didn't do anything. Like, but without you, Dr. Passero, and without Angie, and without your team and everything, I would have never been able to do this. I was like, we literally did nothing. I talked to you like once a month.
Yep.
For an hour.
Yep.
And you did all the work, but they're so grateful, because yes, there is a degree of guidance and coaching and everything and structure that we do create in the work that we do. But I see it the same way you see it. I don't feel I can take credit for anybody's achievements, that do the work that they do, because to get their goals, because they did it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
And it's super gratifying. It's like thank you, because oh my gosh, like I do this day in and day out, and day in and day out, and this is why I do it.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things, is to see those shifts. and then, to say, wow, this really changed my life.
Yeah.
Just be like, man,
Yeah.
so I do this.
Yep.
This is great.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the gratifying part.
This has been really good, man. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you. To close out, we usually just share like what was your biggest takeaway from the podcast and like an insight that you had.
I don't think I've ever really thought, I understand on the surface level what to tell people to help change their mindset and what drives people, but I'm not sure I ever really had the thought of that. It is because of the people that really have, it's like a degree of self-worth and a degree of, and I believe even that aspect of people needing to face their shame and their failures. Because I'm just telling you, I don't know how it is in your work, but like we give people very definable action steps at each touch point that we have with them. And so at our next touch point that we have with them, there's always a review of how they did with those things. And there is so much shame that people bring when they don't necessarily do that. And I think that degree of self-worth, there's something with shame that is a huge driver. Whether it's people can't face their shame, or they have certain wounds that they carry where that shame of failure is so painful that they can't bring it to light. And there's something in psychology there that I don't quite understand that maybe goes beyond self-worth, but there's something in that I think is I hadn't really realized. And then I think that a big takeaway is just sitting down and talking about it, because I was just raw and honest about my own journey, and just that's reflective and helps you see things from like when you have to talk about stuff. Sometimes it helps you see things from an outsider's perspective. And for me, that's motivating. That's how do I keep that in which I had, that I knew drove happiness and success in every area of my life, and how do we not get stuck in our own ruts? And that's one of the really beneficial things that I experienced when you and I worked together personally. When I was getting coached by you, it was just so nice to talk about it and to reflect on it, and to see my own shortcomings and my own challenges from a different lens to help me fight the good fight.
Yeah, I think the biggest choice we can ever make is choosing ourselves.
Yeah.
And to do that consistently and view all aspects of who we are objectively, it's kind of hard sometimes.
It's very hard.
And I really like that piece that you pulled out, because when you have that self-worth, it makes it so much easier for you to be persistent and have resilience.
Yeah.
And I haven't viewed it in that way. And it makes so much sense. Yeah, to walk through that door or to meet with me online, you have to have some type of self-worth.
Yeah.
You have to know your worth, even though you're struggling, right? Even though you're not sure of your next steps. And I haven't really put that together yet. And we even talked about that before. That was a big shift for me, going like, my clients are usually very successful. The difference is there's an aspect that they're stuck or unsure of that they would like a perspective on, but they have enough self-worth that they're open to exploring it.
Yeah.
Like, that takes a lot of courage.
It does.
And especially because most of the time people just meet me for the, like you probably like, hey, we just talked for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Let's sit down and let's really share what's going on. It takes a lot of courage. So I appreciate you bringing that, because that's a big takeaway for me. It's like, oh, okay. I really tied together. Okay, you can have success, but you can still be unsure of the next steps. Or you can have success in life, but your health might not be exactly what you want it to.
Well, yeah, I've seen that, where people have the big money business successes, but they have the heart attack, they have the autoimmune, they have the cancer issue, and success looks like a lot of different things. All that money, all those businesses, all that work, all that stuff doesn't look all that good when you don't have any time left, or you can't even enjoy it. And that's where success has to come multiple different levels for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man. This
So,
is
yeah,
really good.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Brett.
you.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Brett Rivero Show. If you're looking to take your personal growth journey one step forward, check out BrettRiveroCoaching.com to schedule your free breakthrough call. I look forward to seeing you next time.